edition of the Daily Market Commentary. I am your host, Chuck Fulkerson. I hope everybody had a great trading day yesterday. I want to welcome everybody back and on a Tuesday morning, our first day back from our weekend edition, and we had some pretty good movement that we can talk about. So for those of you new to the channel, do me a favor, click the subscribe button down below so that you get the updates as they become available. And make sure that if you are watching this on a pretty regular basis, that you leave a comment in any of the trades if you've got questions, and then share this page with others. Try to spread the love, if you will. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So in the S&P, we had a pretty good movement yesterday. Now, I posted this up on Twitter yesterday morning pretty early because we did get, although this looks like a broken level, remember this is on a 15-minute chart. So if you go to a 15-minute chart, we did get a nice little bounce out of that level for a 2-to-1, maybe even as much as a 3-to-1 reward to risk. It came to our opposing fair price value area, which would be this area right here. And this wound up being a nice little short-term day trade for those of you that were willing to take it. And that's why I posted it on Twitter, because I didn't believe that it was going to hold for very long. So make sure you're always checking the Twitter feed for updates as I put them up there. Because a lot of times that's where I kind of put anything on the management. If you don't remember, if you don't know my Twitter handle, it's just at Chuck Fulkerson and on Twitter. So pretty easy to find. So I posted that up there because what I wanted to make sure was that everybody was aware that I didn't believe that was going to hold, and I thought we were going to have a move higher. Now, why did I think we would move higher? Well, that was because of this area that was in the Nasdaq. This Nasdaq area was a significantly stronger area of demand, a stronger buying opportunity than the S&P was a selling opportunity. So I thought it was a good opportunity to take a short-term S&P trade and then convert it into a little bit of a bigger picture Nasdaq trade. So what that left us with is a nice little day trade on the short side of the S&P, followed by a really nice runner in the Nasdaq. Now we got a really nice push yesterday after the market closed with the Google earnings announcement. That continued the march higher, but it wasn't anything new, right? That march higher started at 8 o'clock in the morning on the pullback into this buying area. So that's really where we came back down into. So now what are we looking at for an area of opportunity? Well, once again, we're not shorting because we're officially at our all-time high. We don't tug on Superman's cape, we don't spit in the wind, and we don't short an all-time high. So as we are, kind of sitting up here, I'm looking for potential pullbacks to buy. So I'm going to take this one. I'm actually going to I'm going to leave this one on, but I'm going to change it to a dashed line because this could still be used again in the future. We traded a little bit into it. We based in front of it, and I may take this one off as we get closer to it and kind of reevaluate it. But let's see if we get a gap and go this morning on some of this news. Now, I think there's a chance that we'll fade back a little bit in the S&P. And if we do get a bit of a fade play, I've got to come all the way back to, say, the 4-hour chart, and I'm still looking at an area up here if we get a little bit of a gap and fade from that. Now, I would also say that our momentum is still weakening to the upside, even though we put in a new high in the overnight hours. If I throw my momentum study on there, and I'm not a huge study guy, but I always like to use the momentum study as something to look at. My momentum is telling me that my momentum is waning, and I keep getting lower swing highs, even though price is giving me higher swing highs. Now, by the way, momentum is not enough of an indication to change direction alone, but it is enough to keep me interested, and I'm going to be very, very, very much aware that the momentum, especially on that short side, is something to pay attention to. So let's see if we get a rally up into here, and then I would be looking at a candle to if I'm going to go short, it would be a candle to candle style of a short, using the 4-hour time period as a way to get in and do it, but not until a bit higher up. All right, crude oil. So crude oil, we almost got filled on our short yesterday. We were not quite able to get there before we had a pretty strong reversal. So I've got nothing else I want to add to crude. I'm going to leave crude as is. Gold, we came up right near our daily area that I'd spoken about and talked about. This could be a good candle-to-candle trading opportunity. So if this is somewhere where you're willing to get short, now we've got a little bit of a candle-to-candle trading opportunity in here on the daily side. So taking a look at the bonds, popping over to our bond market and then our currencies. So in the bonds, we had a really nice sell-off yesterday. And this could have been a very strong breakout trade. I will tell you, I was a little gun shy to post it. And I didn't post it because frankly I got burnt on my last bond breakout trade. But this, for those of you that are breakout traders, was a pretty good opportunity. Didn't know if anybody was able to catch that one or not. If you had a potential short breakdown in the bonds right off of that area, pretty easy to see on the 4-hour chart. So now what this does is sets up for this area up here acting as a strong reversal point in the future. And mind you, this is off the 4-hour chart, so it's going to be a bit wider of a level, but that becomes an area in the future for a really good reversal. In the Aussie, we are still between our areas. Not a whole lot has happened in the midst. We could have a bit of a reversal right in here. I'm going to leave it be at the moment. I still have this gap area up here. Inside of the euro. So those of you that are trading the euro, we got a nice little reversal off of our euro level. So if you're trading that euro level, you've already got about a 4-to-1 reward to risk off of this area. So this could be an opportunity to take your stop and move it up, lock in some profits. We got just a nice big bounce off of there. So protection is key on that kind of a level. And then our Canadian dollar level, we had bounced off of our Canadian dollar level. Very nice run off of the Canadian. And now we almost came to our potential breakout area and fell from there. So those of you that are still in this Canadian, hopefully you've taken some profits off the table. You got a really nice run out of that move. Looking last and certainly not least, Great British Pound, Japanese Yen, Nat Gas, and Copper. Looking here at the British Pound. So in the British Pound, I did have a potential right off of to get short right off of this area here. So we have broken down below that region. Not a whole lot has come of that as we've bounced back up. We're still below it, so for a little bit of profit, but not a ton. In the Japanese Yen, we have hit our Japanese Yen area and started the bounce. Not getting a great movement off of this. This is, I think, a good opportunity to move this stop to break even and lock in a bit of profit and protect yourself. Copper, I hate to do it because of our overall big picture direction, but boy, this could be a decent little breakout to the upside right above here. Just the setup of it says, hey, I could easily break out, and the breakout could get you up to, this little region over here, right in there. Could get you right to that area up in there. And last but certainly not least, Nat Gas. So we had the breakdown from our Nat Gas level, got a really nice little move off of it. We came back up to it again and then fell from it a second time. So let me know in the comment section if you're doing that one. So kind of as a quick review, Nat Gas off of the breakdown, still running nicely. Copper, the Japanese Yen rallying up off of here. The Great British Pound off of the breakdown is moving slightly, but still moving. So that's a pretty active page for those of you that are trading those. And then on the currency markets, our Canadian dollar level worked extremely well. The euro level is moving off of this area here very well. And then on our main kind of starter page, our S&P reversal yesterday for a small time frame day trade worked out well, and our Nasdaq trade worked out well. So all of these things you know, an interesting way to go. Now, I point this out only because if you remember back from my trade, the trades that we put up on, I want to say Friday, 2 out of the 3 that met entry for a loss. Maybe, I'm sorry, it was 3 out of 4 that met entry and stopped out. Now, you have days where 3 out of your 4 trades are going to meet entry and get stopped out, but they're all stopped out for small losses. You're also going to have days where 6 of your 7 trades that you look at meet entry for profit, and you do way better. You're going to have days both ways, one way or the other. The key is to not get emotionally attached either direction, right? And so that's something to kind of keep in mind. Play the direction of the big picture trend is going to be your best odds, and more often than not, you're going to be better off with a big picture trend direction following than you are going to be trying to pick the reversals on the super small time frames that are against the big picture trend direction. So there's my little words of wisdom for the day. If you got any questions, please do me a favor. Send me an email, chuck@iiefinancial.com. I hope everybody has a great and profitable trading day. And if there's something I can do for you, please don't hesitate to reach out. Talk to you soon.